Really make sure your heel position is like where the white kind of meets the volume, I think.
Josh Jackman's happy place.
So put your left foot there.
Coaching climbing at Spokane's Wild Wall.
There you go.
20 years ago, he was on the wall.
In between climbs, you have a break. What are you going to do during that break?
Today,
to help?
Jackman coaches from his wheelchair,
Climb with your eyes.
offering advice from experience.
And according to the State Patrol report, they were going 86 miles an hour.
In July of 2007, Jackman nearly died.
I remember kind of a loud noise. I can remember feeling hot. And then for me, I wake up in October.
For more than 2 months, he was in a drug-induced coma, recovering from broken bones and internal injuries. The driver who ran into him died upon impact. That man was drunk. Impairment plays a role in more than half of the state's deadly crashes, which have climbed to rates not seen since the 1990s. A bill to lower the state's blood alcohol content threshold from 0.08 to 0.05 will be debated again in Olympia next year. Utah is the only state with that level, but more than 150 countries, including parts of Canada and Mexico, use that standard. State and federal research suggests there is impairment at 0.05. What does it take to get to that level? Well, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says for drivers on an empty stomach over a 2-hour period, for a male, somewhere between 3 and 4 drinks, and for a female, more like 2 or 3 drinks. According to newly released research from the Washington Traffic Safety Commission, when people were first surveyed about the law change, 54% supported it. But after learning more about what lowering the BAC could mean, 71% were on board.
It's not like a huge cultural shift to get people on board with this.
Josh Jackman thinks tougher laws and a lower threshold might have prevented his crash.
It's not going to change consumption, and it's not intended to. It's going to change your driving behavior. And you're like, oh, 0.05, huh? Not 0.08? Oh, let's make a plan before we go out. Then you want to get as much as your body over that heel.
For Jackman, coaching climbing gives him a chance to support his community. He looks at backing this push for a tougher DUI law the same way.
That community, and this is, this is also a part of community. How we choose to be responsible for each other, how we take care of each other, how we protect each other.
State Senator John Lovick has proposed this bill the last couple of sessions. I spoke with him today. He says he is going to submit it again. He said next year is the year for this to pass. He's already spoken with legislators who opposed it in the past. They've told him this past year that they're on board now. So we'll see once the legislators return here in January. Jessica?
Drew, you've mentioned that this has repeatedly come up in Olympia. Why hasn't it passed in recent sessions?
A lot of questions about some of those numbers. The Utah figures aren't as good as maybe some of the proponents would like to think. But there are also folks from industries, the wineries, the breweries, restaurants. They don't love the idea of people perhaps being scared to go out and have a glass of wine at dinner, so they think that they may stay home. So there's been a lot of opposition, but with a bill like this, it sometimes takes a few years to convince some folks, and it sounds like more and more people are getting on board.